Habari za asubuhi, jina langu ni Adam Riel. Karibuni Panstrong Philosophy. Asante sana kwa kusikiliza. Hey guys, we're in the middle of the Masai Mara looking at some hippos. I'm Adam Riel.
I'm Shri.
I'm Tim.
And fucking hell, these hippos are awesome.
Stunning. Absolutely gorgeous.
We've just got this massive river bend that's sort of snaking round in like a horseshoe shape, just filled with hippos.
I'm looking for some crocodiles as well. I don't know when they show up, probably at night, and they probably don't want to be near these hippos because fucking hell, they're fearsome.
They'd get fucked.
But I mean, look at these hippos. Look at the ones in the water. They could not be lazier. What a lifestyle.
What they've got a nice current coming downstream.
I know.
Swimming over there.
No 9 to 5s.
You got those ones sunbathing.
No
over
mortgages.
Our guide says
the hippo way is the way of life, isn't it?
Okay, got to go back in the vehicle now. Right. But these hippos are awesome.
The next time.
Hopefully we'll see more lions in trees, and we'll update on everything later. Habari za mchana, jina langu ni Adam Riel. Karibuni Panstrong Philosophy. Asante sana kwa kutazama au kusikiliza kwenye panstrongphilosophy.podbean.com. And yeah, I'm recording this actually in Tanzania. We crossed the border in Tanzania in the Masai Mara, and I thought, fuck it, why not make this the 5th country officially that Panstrong Philosophy has visited and recorded in. And yeah, here we are, and it's fucking spectacular. Everybody else is having lunch under the tree, and yeah, this is so utterly breathtaking. This place is so fucking unique, so amazing, so many interesting animals. I'll upload pictures and shit, and Tim will edit together to make a nice video. I've taken a photo of what the view is like here, and it's ridiculous. Just savannah as far as the eye can see, tall grass, these beautiful trees. Mti in Swahili, or miti is the plural. And yeah, it's just, everything is fucking amazing here. Kila siku ni siku njema. Like, each day is a good day here. And yeah, it really has been. Just everything escalating to absolute brilliance. So awe-inspiring. Like, yeah, these words definitely just do not do the place justice. Okay, this is just another segment like the one by the elephants, just to say we've recorded in the Masai Mara, because it's obviously not the most practical place to record and we're with other people, but yeah. Alright, I'm going to get back in now, and we'll do a full podcast later at the camp. Asante sana kwa kutazama au kusikiliza kwenye panstrongphilosophy.podbean.com. Habari ya Johnny, jina langu ni Adam Riel. Karibuni Panstrong Philosophy. Asante sana kwa kusikiliza. I'm Adam Riel. Here is the wonderful Tim Haigh.
Hello.
And we'll keep the intros brief because you would have heard 2 bits at the start of this. The first recorded over hippos in the Masai Mara, and the second recorded in Tanzania, just so we could tick something off.
Just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, so another country. That'll be the 5th country Panstrong Philosophy has visited and recorded in.
We're going global, baby.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, we're here in Nairobi at the moment. It was very difficult to record on location in the Masai Mara because we were around people most of the time.
Yeah.
Looks a bit weird.
And every time we were sort of standing out in the open outside of the safari van, our tour guide was very concerned for our safety in case a lion jumped out of the brush and decided to maul us to death. So we didn't really get much time on foot.
We spent this time out, and there was a zebra herd nearby, and our friend wanted to go a bit closer to the zebras, and it's like, there's cheetahs out here, and their whole deal is not being seen near zebra herds. And if zebras, people like, guys who always don't want to be eaten by cheetahs and are usually pretty good at spotting them and have to do that most of their lives, if they can't spot them, we sure as shit won't be able to.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, this Indian doctor guy, he sure knows his camouflage, so I fancy his chances.
Well, yeah, we're back. None of us got eaten by cheetahs or lions or any of the wonderful carnivores that were out there, so that's a success. Yeah, I think we beat the Masai Mara by staying in the van and listening to our very experienced guide.
Yes, we did indeed.
We're in Nairobi at the moment. Firstly, anybody who's visiting Kenya, check out Nairobi. Seriously, we don't see any foreigners really on the street or in a lot of the places we go to.
Wazungu, as they're called.
Well, Wazungu is the plural.
Wazungu
is the plural. Yeah. Swahili is quite weird that the plural. Most stuff is done by the prefix instead of the suffix.
Okay.
But
you're such a language nerd.
I really am. I really am. It's brilliant. Languages are amazing.
It's quite interesting linguistic stuff.
Yeah, it's. But anyway, check out Nairobi. I was wondering where all the foreigners are, and when we went to the elephant orphanage the other day...
they're there. Turns out they're all there.
They were all there, and like baby elephants are so cute, just like Papa's.
Yeah, like
They're absolutely wonderful.
giant grey dogs just rolling about in the dirt and playing with each other. It was great.
They were having a great time. They were so cared about. They were so cheeky. Yeah, definitely one of the best places to check out in Nairobi, and which I guess most of the tourists knew. They were all there, but they were going in like little shuttles and stuff when we all came out, because it's only open between 11 and 12 during their feeding time. That's the only time like the public allowed to view the baby elephants. But yeah, they all got into shuttles and they kept so like isolated from just general Nairobi. I know it's got some reputation, as in like it was
Nairobi.
cool. Yeah, Nairobi was a name attributed to it, but Kenyans are lovely. Like I've experienced zero aggression whatsoever out here. Everybody's lovely. Well, okay.
I haven't.
Well, I don't, okay, it doesn't count. Tim may have got stopped by the police once, but I thought there was sound.
Entirely self-inflicted. Well,
I was talking with my girlfriend on the laptop. Tim wanted to get some food. There was a little place around the corner to get food that we've been to a couple of times. It was after dark, so Tim wanted it should have been fine, but a bunch of men with guns turned up.
Yeah, that was pretty worrying. So yeah, I kind of made the crucial mistake of going out alone at midnight in a foreign country as a minority, and then this car full of people just sort of pulled up to me as I was walking into the shop, like shouting something at me. I didn't really know what they were saying, and because I was sort of on edge anyway, I shit myself a little bit and kind of just went, "Oh no, it's all right, sorry," don't just kind of brushed them off. And then when I was in the shop, some guy was sort of following me around and just like watching me. It scared the fuck out of me. I was like, who's this guy following me? Sort of hid in the back of the shop for a bit, panicking, like, fuck, what are these, like, this is guys with guns following me around. And then the shopkeeper came out and said, no, it's okay, come out, it's just police. I was like, oh, fuck the police, no, what have we done? And so there's these 5 guys with AKs just sort of drag me out, well, not drag me out, but like pull me out for questioning, just ask me a bunch of questions. Obviously I'm nervous as fuck. These guys with guns, like I'm just completely out of my element. And yeah, they just sort of quizzed me a bit, wanted to know what I was doing. I was being a bit shifty, to be fair. Like I didn't know they were police, and I sort of palmed them off, so that was probably a bit of an error on my behalf. But eventually it turned out they wanted to see my passport to prove that I was a tourist. I didn't have it on me. I had to ring at them and get them to come down and bring it. And it all turned out fine in the end, but Jesus, that was a...
Yeah, it was fine. I sort of turned up, brought his passport, I had my own, obviously.
They kept saying things like, "Oh, why are you nervous? Why are you nervous?" Oh, I don't fucking know, because there's 5 men with guns standing around me interrogating me. I wonder why.
They were fine. They were nice guys.
They were, but
I know. It's sort of like, yeah, I turned up, just cracked a few jokes, like spoke a little bit of Swahili. They turned very friendly very quickly.
The thing with the police here is that they weren't in like a police car or anything. It was just an unmarked car, and they weren't wearing any sort of uniform. So I just saw men with guns. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I had no idea they were police until the shopkeeper was like, "Oh no, it's fine, they're just police."
Yeah, precisely. It's well, when I turned up, they seemed pretty sound after a while, and then it calmed down the situation, because I think, isn't it an arrestable offence, like not having your ID? So thank fuck you didn't get in there.
Oh my god, I was on the borderline of not taking my phone with me as well, because the whole night robbery reputation, but that would have made my life so much worse. So I'm glad I did.
Yeah, the things about crime here, we sort of made a pact before we came here, like don't break any laws whatsoever, because read this one thing about a prison nearby that was notorious for its predatory sodomy, and having the phrase predatory sodomy in your head really makes you toe the line.
That has echoed around in my brain since getting here.
Yeah, it's just but also about the eateries in Nairobi, absolutely lovely. We're at a Lebanese one called Cedars. Amazing falafel.
So good.
An American guy just rolls up a joint on the table. Yep. Rolls up a joint of weed that smuggled in from California. Apparently offers us a joint, says, yeah, just going to go smoke around there.
Just like, we're on a main road in Nairobi, just like in this restaurant with waiters just like walking around, and this guy's just openly rolling a joint.
Yeah, and then going for a smoke, and it's like, whoa, okay, wow.
All I could hear when he was talking, he was like, "Oh, do you guys want to smoke?" I was like, "Predatory sodomy, predatory sodomy, predatory sodomy." It probably would have been fine, but just not really worth the risk.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped smoking weed a while ago, and yeah, it's not worth the appealing. And he said like, "Oh, worst thing for a Mzungu is a $500 fine." It's like, that's the fucking hell of a fine.
Yeah, I don't have that, mate.
Yeah, and also like when you're at a restaurant. That's you've not. I don't. I assume you didn't like ask permission from the people. That's not good for a restaurant to have like pot smoking just going on.
Yeah, just some white dude just doing what he wants on your property.
Yeah, because police turn up, they could give shit to the waiters or the management or whatever. Probably not good, but hey, I hope everything turned out okay for him.
Yeah, maybe he's not being predatory sodomised right now. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I was told is like quite easy to avoid prison if you sort of bribe off, but I don't want to have to bribe off, and
that just make me feel dirty.
Yeah, you just don't want any risk whatsoever. You don't want to upset people here at all. Just there's no need. Just follow the law, respect the country, have a good time, and fucking hell though, the food here.
Oh good
like,
lord.
Oh my god, this has been the best food trip. Like seriously, I can't imagine the people who just sort of come to Kenya and they just don't check out Nairobi at all. They just sort of stay in like a hotel and like bust with like arranged shuttles and do the safari and that's that. Like the eateries here are magnificent. Well, okay, so the three big ones we've gone to so far. We can start with Cedars, which we went to today. Amazing falafel and tabbouleh. I assume tabbouleh is how it's pronounced. Apologies, Lebanese people, if that's bullshit. But I've only ever seen it written. Lovely like parsley salad with like a lemony tinge. Just it was so good, and the falafels prepared here so crispy, so tasty.
Stuffed inside pita bread and so good.
And we actually managed to finish a meal today without having to take any back.
Yeah, my lord, the portion sizes here are insane. I thought America was bad for it, but
oh yeah, these are bigger than American-sized portions. I think they've defeated us mostly. Like one that really defeated us was chapati yesterday up in Westlands, I think.
Yeah, vegetarian Indian restaurant.
Yeah, exclusive vegetarian Indian restaurant, and oh my god, taste explosion! It was. We ordered like two types of chips. These matoke chips that were like this in this tomatoey sauce that was so creamy, and these garlicky, limey, and the chana masala as well. And what was the other thing we had? It was bindi do piazza. The okra.
Okra,
yeah. Okra is one of those that it can be crap when it's made by a takeaway. Going back to curry in Nottingham now. God, so oily, so crap, and nobody can make good okra. In Nottingham, but the chef at Chapati really, really had it down.
And the waiter loved us. Like he was so happy to see how overjoyed we were every time he bought us over food.
I'm wondering in these restaurants if we like maybe creating a scene by the endless orgasm sounds we're making while we're eating because we're so surprised.
It's just like and just making all sorts of like very sensual noises.
Oh, don't you have good food in England? Like, well, if this is good food, no, we don't. We are so willing to accept mediocrity. But the portion sizes were huge. It defeated us way too easily. I was cursing like any food I had before that was inferior for having the audacity to be in my system when this food could be in my system instead.
It robbed me of that enjoyment.
Robbed us of more matoke tomatoey chips and so lovely. Good. And the third one that we've been to 3 times now because we came for coffee this morning, right around the corner from us in Kilimani, Habesha, really highly rated Ethiopian food. Ethiopian food generally as an eating experience is very interesting. Just no knives or spoons or forks. Apparently they don't like that there.
Apparently the manager really doesn't like it there.
Well, yeah, we can get into that after the
yeah.
The thing we ordered there is we had a platter of just the nicest food. You have a pancake, and then on it you've got a platter of various dishes. There was like beetroot, potatoes, sautéed kale,
different curry sort of
sauces, like a lot of split pea stuff. Really, really nice. Just so flavourful, so intense, and this really nice salad, the dressing on it as well.
Oh, it's so good.
I wish I could place. What it was, but it was just so tasty.
I mean, the whole thing had the coolest sort of decor and aesthetic to it. It's like this huge. It's got quite huge grounds to it. So they've got like an indoor bit, a bar to it. They've got a wooden sort of Ethiopian style tiki hut covered in paintings, which is our favourite bit to be in. They had it was just such a visually interesting place to be in as well.
100%, and the service was great. The visuals of just the Ethiopian art surrounding the hut. the general location, the coffee ceremony going on in front of us, the incense burning.
The fact that it's literally 5 minutes away as well is pretty
Yeah,
great.
that's excellent. It's such a great eatery. Like, I can't emphasize how much we enjoyed the food. It was fantastic, and even eating with these like pancakes, you sort of like just tear a bit off, and when you have to eat with your hands, but it makes it so good.
It means you can't just shovel it down your face endlessly as well. It means you have to take your time, and because the portions are so huge, it actually works quite well in our favour because you don't get as full as quick.
Yeah, precisely. It was a very pleasant way of eating. Like the first time we went there, I had something that was a bit more kind of liquidy curry, and I asked about the spoon. The waiter looked quite surprised, and then I realised, this is not a common thing. I have to back out of this now and just carry on attempting it. Like, just go for it. Someone like gave a review online when I was looking up about Habesha, because I gave them a really good review, and there was a 1-star review right below me. Apparently, a foreigner asked for a spoon, and the manager threw a fit. Like,
told them to get out.
Yeah, told them to get out. Like, take the food. Well, thankfully we didn't run into the manager, and we followed their hand pancake eating traditions, and
it's pretty fun. So if you do go, don't ask for a spoon.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
But we need to. I wonder what other eateries to check out here. It's been great. It's really been a great food trip.
Yeah, like even on safari we had pretty good, like I think it was authentic Kenyan food as well, with lots of like lentil based curry.
Yeah, lots of lentils, lots of nice beans, lot of like sauteed kale and stuff, and rice. It was all very nice. We stopped in town, Narok. Yeah, that's what. On the way, it was it was really cool, really good food. Everybody's really nice. And those towns in between, a lot of it was one story. It just gave us, when we were driving between Nairobi and the Masai Mara, it just gave the impression of like Wild West, sort of.
It did feel like this sort of saloon town.
Yeah, like the dustiness everywhere.
Yeah, out on the frontier, sort of.
The one story, like little shops and...
Yeah, with all these like hanging signs blowing in the wind and actual like livestock and horses and stuff riding through the streets. It really did feel like some sort of spaghetti western, but just in Africa.
It was pretty cool. There was a thing though called a blessing shop that I saw a sign for going there and back. I think in Narok. Just what the fuck is that? If anybody is familiar with Africa and has seen those, like please let me know, because the impression it gives me is you go there and pay for someone to do a blessing. That sounds like something that would do well in America. I mean, you've got fucking pet psychics,
palm reading shops like everywhere in Los Angeles.
Oh, fucking hell. See, this is what happens when... fucking hell. America, this is what happens when too many idiots have disposable income. Like, seriously, stop doing that.
Just gotta cleanse my chakra.
Anyways, okay, well, let's get into the Masai Mara itself. That's sort of the main feature. That was just a fucking unbelievable experience.
Lion King doesn't even do it justice.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that made it for us... I guess we got very, very lucky. Because, first of all, we paid $300 each. That was not common throughout the camp.
Ooh, we met this German couple that paid something in the realm of $900
each. Yeah. It was amazing. I had to do quite a lot of research when going in between safaris to find a decent deal, because they just varied so much. It's quite weird when you get such a variation in prices, because some are like suspiciously low, and then not many reviews, so you think they're just going to run off with my money, and some were just very, very high, and you could get really ripped off. That German couple, I think that their driver they got arrived late, because it's meant to be a 3-day thing. You drive to Nairobi and then you have a light drive around the camp there, and remember the sun sets in Kenya, because it's on the equator, it sets at 6:30 at night. So you have to, if you want to get a drive in before it gets dark, you have to arrive at sort of like 3-4 o'clock, which we did because our driver was awesome.
Thomas, we love you. Thomas
Jackson, he absolutely made it. If you are able to acquire him, we went through big time safaris as well. A brilliant company. A guy called Solomon did everything for us. Yeah, zero complaints, like completely perfect.
Thomas was just
$300.
incredible.
Oh yeah, as a driver, he was able to navigate through Nairobian streets so well. Yeah, so fast as well through any kind of difficult traffic.
He has the most ridiculous navigational skills I've ever seen in a man. Not only did he manage to pick us up from our apartment here in Nairobi, take us all the way to the centre of Nairobi, drive 6 hours out into the sticks, like on the border of Tanzania and Kenya, to this Masai Mara camp without a sat nav. He had complete photographic memory of every section of the park and just knew exactly where all the animals would be, knew exactly where to go at which times, and just it's insane. It's crazy. He's a superhero.
Really is. Went absolutely above and beyond. And you saw other drivers even they weren't able to get as close, get better angles on the animals and find them as quickly.
That's the
it
thing.
was so frequent. We turned up our Jeep would turn up, find some animals, and then others would sort of join in around because Thomas was always the first one to find them.
Yeah, and the thing about Thomas as well is that what we paid $300 each. The German couple that we met paid $900 each. We had this group of Koreans that paid $700 or something like that. We all got the exact same package. They got ripped off.
Yeah.
We were all staying in the same camp. They were there for the exact same amount of time as us. They were had the exact same schedule as us. I don't really know what extra they were paying for, but we definitely got a good deal out of it.
Big time, and
Big time safaris.
Hey, big time safaris and Thomas Jackson. Highly, highly, highly recommend. But yeah, okay. Well, we get in the first. I think the first thing we saw was, the first thing that really, really hits you is just the landscape of the place, because you do the whole thing with the roofs open. You can go and you can stand up and just look around, just proper fucking Lion King atmosphere.
Just standing up while driving along these dusty roads, watching these huge valleys, just wind blowing through your hair. It's great.
So savannah-y, and those lone trees as well.
Yeah, those curved, twisted, iconic savannah trees just look amazing. And
the way the light just cast across all those valleys and the hills, breathtaking scenery.
Picturesque. Absolutely picturesque.
Just, it was unreal. I sort of I got normalised, and then it was one of those things where every minute or so it would just hit you where you are, and you're like, God damn!
I'm on safari, great.
Amazing. And the first thing we saw, quite quickly after driving into the camp, first thing we saw was getting mobbed by Masai women trying to sell us souvenirs.
Oh, that was kind of scary. Because we had to go through the gate to the national park, and they had to check all of our group's passports, which took a while. And whilst Thomas had parked the bus and gone to the guards to clear our passports or whatever, oh my god, it felt like we were in The Walking Dead or something. A group of Maasai women just clutching these souvenirs would literally swarmed the bus, and because it had its open top, they were sort of reaching in and trying to get us to buy all their stuff, and their faces were pressed up against the windows. It was actually kind of unnerving.
Yeah, it really was, because it's just especially being English, you sort of have that kind of social politeness drawn into you. It's no, thank you, I'm fine. Hapana Asante. And it was quite hot, but I did get a very good price on a couple of souvenirs.
Yeah,
because of competition driving up standards.
And they're all competing with each other.
Yeah, because they kept lowering the price around it. I mean, I don't like to haggle so much, especially in countries where there is kind of widespread poverty, and people selling that kind of stuff to you probably
really
don't
is
have
their
much.
livelihood.
Yeah. So I don't like just negotiating to get a pound off or something.
For the sake of it.
Yeah. It seems. Yeah, but I got a deal. I got nice stuff. But it's just about if they constantly ask for more. It was quite unnerving, just in terms of we're not used to that kind of forwardness when it comes to salesmanship.
And there were literally dozens of them, all around the van. It was
it's so pushy. But hey, it was okay. We drove off, and then we saw some cheetahs.
Yeah. Oh my god! Within it was less than 5 minutes of it into the park.
Yep.
That we just managed to stumble across these two cheetahs, who had freshly tucked into a nice goat.
Yeah, they were having a lovely time. They're such cute animals. I like kitties. I mean, it's I know it was weird seeing them maul another wonderful being, but their jaws were impressive as well. You were able to hear the crunching of the bones and everything. They gave no shit. And around were sort of foxes circulating.
Jackals and scavengers. That
Just
sort of thing.
little dudes who want like the last bits of the carcass so that the cheetahs can't eat.
It was crazy though that like I was expecting, because we had 2 hours of that drive, because we basically had a 6-hour drive. By the time we got there it was about 4, and then we had a 2-hour game drive before the sunset. I was expecting to see maybe a couple of animals in that time, if that, and then within a couple of minutes of entering the park, oh look, cheetahs, oh look, they're having dinner, great.
It was a great first sight.
Yeah, it set the stage for the entire 3 days.
They are stunning creatures, very, very stunning creatures, and it was a shame we weren't able to see them hunt, which I assume is a very, very rare sight to be able to capture, because they only are able to run for I think like 30 seconds before they tire out.
Thomas was saying that they're sprinters, not marathon runners.
Yeah. They run really fast, and then they overheat very quickly. Just a website, but hey, it's an efficient use.
I saw something yesterday in the museum about how they sort of dislocate their shoulder blades to sort of give them more momentum and force forwards.
Yeah, incredible creatures.
Yeah.
Incredible creatures, and it was hard for me just seeing like cute kitties that I'm not allowed to get out and pet. That they would have mauled me.
Yeah.
They would have mauled me. But as with most animals, they just didn't seem to give a fuck about the van. Really, they just I assume like since birth they've seen these kind of things go around, and they know they're harmless. So yeah, screw it.
Why not?
But so that carried on. We saw, I'm trying to remember what we saw next. It was probably giraffes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was next. The giraffes were so nice. They're such beautiful, elegant creatures, and
they walk like they're in slow motion as well. Which is
yeah,
quite
when they run, it's like the way their legs sort of stagger out. Yeah, it really, really is.
They're so gangly and so long-limbed, but they just somehow manage to be so elegant and precise about it all.
Apart from when they go down and eat in small bushes, it looks kind of awkward when they sort of separate their legs
they
out.
have to sort of shimmy their way down and like bend their neck, and it's like, dude, there's a perfectly good tree behind you. Why are you going for this bush?
Yeah.
But yeah, they were really cool. And
there were some baby ones as well.
Yeah, we saw one like suckling from its mum.
Yeah.
It was pretty cute.
So cute, the way they run as well, and it's just especially when we saw the giraffes, it felt so National Geographic.
Yeah,
it's like wow, this is where we truly
beams of light coming through the clouds and like casting this ridiculous gradient over the sky, and just seeing these giraffes in their natural habitat. It's pretty good. And
we saw bits of a leopard. Like we were able to see him with binoculars. He was at a park.
Not in literal bits.
Oh yeah. As in like he was intact. He was intact. But
he was just hiding.
Yeah, he was just hiding. Leopards not so keen showing off in front of tourists. They like hiding in trees and in foliage. And yeah, we were able to see a bit of him.
Thomas was very quick to tell us which animals were shy and which ones were not. And
yeah.
Unfortunately, leopards were one of the shy ones.
Leopards are hyenas though. We saw hyenas like really up close.
Yeah.
Really up close, they wandered around. Thomas said that is really rare, so we're very lucky for that. So yeah, and the leopards were more evasive. The impala gazelles, though, there were so many cool gazelles all the way around.
Different types of strange deer.
Running
around.
Also graceful. They were fun to like. They bounced along very nicely. They had weird herd formations though. Like you had the alpha male and all his females. Around there, and then
Serene, he was loving it.
Yeah, and about a mile away, you'd have like the pack of bachelors.
All the beta males, they're just like biding their time, waiting to usurp the top male.
See if they can come, get a challenge on, and yay, they get all the females until they're killed by someone else.
Yeah.
It was funny when we saw like a group of females, and there was one. And the alpha male was sort of just going around sniffing them, seeing who's in heat, and like chasing some around.
Some of the females were not having any of it.
Yeah, it is. That must have been a sweet. Like it must be sweet but short, because I can't imagine you can maintain your alpha male status for very long before you get somewhat weak, somewhat complacent.
I seem to remember Thomas saying something about that, saying like after a while they get very tired after having to sex all these lovely lady antelope, and they can easily be usurped when they're spent all their energy.
Yeah. And then they just take off, and a new person comes in and makes more little baby antelopes, and
it's a tough life at the top.
It really, really is. But okay, well we can go into other stuff. Like we saw quite a few other things. But yeah, the accommodation at the camp, it was Well, there were monkeys there. Okay, we'll start off with something nice.
Monkeys were cool.
They were quite cute.
Within like 2 minutes of arriving, all of us saw the monkeys and instantly went, "Oh my god, monkeys!" and started following them around and chasing them, going, "Tee, look at their tails."
Yeah, the way they bounced around and they were like pretty cheeky. We had to keep our big tent closed because monkeys would come in and steal our shit. Which
and we had to
would not be
keep
fun.
it closed from those dirty bastard mosquitoes that want to give us all kinds of diseases and steal our blood.
Oh fuck them! Oh yeah, good point. Actually, I'm going to put on some mosquito spray constantly. Do you have much mosquito spray on?
No,
You
actually.
should probably do that now. It's getting dark.
Yeah.
So there's one great thing. There's not been as many mosquitoes as I thought there would be. I mean, I don't think I've been bitten once. Here.
Either it's because of the spray or in spite of it. I don't really know.
Well, either way, I'm going to keep applying the spray. Lovely jungle formula.
Yeah.
It's very good. And considering, well, I guess the worst case scenario for us is dengue fever because because we've taken our malaria pills, so we're nice and resistant, but dengue fever still is an issue. It's not going to be much of a thing in Nairobi, but
No.
yeah, out there apparently it's got more of a risk. So yeah, be very prepared when it comes to that.
I mean, in terms of the camp, it wasn't terrible. It was quite nicely laid out, and it had like a little dining area. The tents themselves are just these big, giant canvases covered in nets and shit to keep all sorts of creepy crawlies out.
Yeah, I mean it did its job. How the shower, cold.
Yeah, I mean, it was just camp accommodation, really. We weren't really expecting luxury. Although next door there was a camp that was luxury, and we were very tempted to sneak in, and it seemed empty, so part of us wanted to just go and rob their tents. But hey, if you're out in the middle of the Serengeti, you might as well
It was
give up a few creature comforts.
I mean, it was a good experience. I'm glad I had it, but yeah, I couldn't do that for too long. It was just so hard to sleep because it was quite noisy. On the second night, an elephant came near the camp, and they had to scare them away with a jeep.
Oh, that
nearby.
was crazy. Just
Such
hearing this
a-
elephant roar.
We had to wake up at 5:30 that day when we'd already slept like dog shit, and like my alarm goes off because we're all three of us are staying in the same bit, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, why did I set this alarm and inflict this on us? Oh.
Sleeping in mosquito nets was a new experience for me, though.
Well, those ones that were so tight as well.
Literal like a cone of protection.
Yeah, because you had to tuck in the mosquito net on the sides of the bed, and every time you like get up for a piss or something, you had to like, oh shit, take it out.
It's quite horrifying at times though when you just, because the net would just sort of hang loosely above you, you just hear these mosquitoes just like inches away from your face, and you're like, please don't get through the net, please don't get through the net.
Well, there were a lot of holes in the nets though when we got there. Like when we got there, that's a big complaint about the camp. Actually, there were fucking so many holes in the mosquito nets.
Luckily, we bought trusty duct tape.
Travellers, anybody doing anything, actually, keep it everywhere in your house. Duct tape and scissors. Duct tape and scissors could fix fucking anything, and you will always be grateful for bringing it with you. It's one of those things: rather need and not have than have not need. There's no excuse for not taking duct tape and scissors.
Yeah.
It's just so good for fixing anything. So we patched up our holes with duct tape, and we were so grateful for it because we don't have fucking dengue fever.
That we know of.
Well, I guess it could set in. So, hey,
I don't know
punish
how.
me for this smugness.
Yeah, I mean, the camps are fun for like 2 nights. I don't know why people would want to do that for a week though.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that I don't really know what more there is to see in a week.
Well, there's probably a lot if you sort of go around and you sort of tour other camps,
True,
like Hell's
yeah.
Gate camp, like Nakuru, which we're going to. But yeah, I like my little creature comforts that come with like having a little bit of Wi-Fi and watching some stuff before bed. And,
Yeah, three days was the perfect amount of time to sort of be off the grid and.
Yeah, just really sort of out there and get a sort of bit of a wild experience. It's
Yeah.
I'd like to, if I was going to do something like that, I'd rather just sort of go like full on with the wild experience and be intense and just be completely self-sufficient in ourselves.
Yeah.
Rather than a sort of like hybrid camp sort of situation. Like if it's going to be a truly wild experience, make it a truly wild experience. But okay. Well, zebras as well. We saw a fuck ton of zebras. They were cool as fuck. A lot smaller than you sort of.
Yeah, they're
think
more
they
donkey-sized than horse-sized.
Yeah, and sort of like face-wise, they seem quite closely related to donkeys.
Mm.
But they're such fun creatures, and they sort of. I think there were many zebra crossing jokes made when they were going across the roads.
I mean, the first group of zebra we saw, after not seeing any animals for a while, we're like, "Oh my god, Thomas, stop! We need to get some pictures." It was like, "Are you sure? There's going to be loads of them." And true to his word, they were just literally everywhere. Like, there were times that he'd have to honk the horn to get them out of the road and just to move out of the way.
I love the looks they gave us as well. Like the giraffes did it as well, just this sort of like
Just staring us
straightforward.
down.
Like, what are you?
Yeah, they were pretty friendly, really. They weren't too shy. They would sort of.
I guess very used. They know we're not a threat. They know we're not like cheetahs or lions. So
Yeah, we're not harbouring any carnivores that are going to jump out of the truck and eat them to death.
no, not at all. They were, they were cool. They were, and it's also I loved seeing zebras because it's one of the iconic animals of Africa. Like when you read books as a kid of like the African animals, it's always about zebras, giraffes, lions, and ticking zebras off was a very important part of the scenery.
And their patterns are so hypnotic. I mean, obviously it makes them stand out. Apparently, it kind of confuses predators, and like the stripes give off some weird optical illusion kind of thing to predators. But they're really striking to look at and have like a really nice pattern.
Yeah, I found that definitely. It was so fun to look at and just watch them play for ages. It was a shame we didn't stop among more zebras even, because especially when we were in the middle of the big herds, just watching those optical illusions go through each other and contrasting, and watching how they ran about, interacted with each other. Because some of them were very, very playful as well. They looked like
but there were some just like rolling around in the mud like a giant puppy, which is great.
Yeah. I guess they're like that. Some of the younger ones got very dirty rolling around in there. Like I thought, like, oh shit, that's a zebra as well. He's just dirty.
Well, the young zebras, they were saying, have brown and black stripes, like light brown and black. And then
some of them. So when they got in the dust, they looked very.
But when they mature, they turn proper white from it.
Mm-hmm. It was, but yeah, their main predators are the lions, and I got to say, the lions were a real fucking highlight.
Oh man,
the ones we saw as well. There was the last morning, and the middle of the second day. We just saw the most picturesque lions. They were a lot lazier than I thought. Every time we saw them, they're lounging. They're so chilled out, such chilled out animals. And the most single chilled out one was up a tree, just amazing sight.
Literally just chilling out.
He was loving. It was a hot day. He'd found a great spot. Just sort of climbed up on the tree, like rested his chin on a branch. And
he's my spirit animal.
He was so captivating to look at. Just a happy cat.
Just a big old kitty, just chilling in a tree, just adjusting himself, finding the most comfortable position. All these stupid people in a giant metal van ogling him. He just did not care.
He gave no fucks whatsoever.
He was great.
And none of them did. Like, we saw a couple of honeymooner ones as well. But apparently that's where they sort of go off in their couples and they mate.
They have a week of fasting and just screw each other stupid for that week.
They looked like there was a breakup as well. We saw one couple, they were quite close together. And there was another one close together. The female sort of went around, I guess she was in heat, sort of bothered the man, like, hey, kind of that, and then he just walked off.
Yeah, he was having none of it.
He wandered off, like, poor lady.
Unfulfilled.
She got herself a lazy man. Either that or he was off to... Oh no, wait, the females are the ones that hunt.
Yeah, apparently the male lions are really lazy.
That is lazy as fuck.
At the end of the honeymoon period, the lady lion goes off and goes and hunts for the male and brings back a meal, and all he does is just lie there and wait for the food.
Fight off other males, I guess.
They seem pretty happy with each other.
External pride, pride. I don't know. It was, but yeah, they were so good, and the one on the last morning as well, so photogenic.
Just literally, like he was on that rock from the Lion King, just this massive outcropping rock coming out of the ground with just this lion on top, just perfectly posed.
Basking in the sun, just looks so majestic.
And there was that other one we came across, like right towards the end of the second day, that we got literally about a metre away from.
Which one was that?
Do you remember when it was just our bus? No one else had found it, and we came across it by chance.
Oh yeah.
And we got had the windows open. It was just lying in the shade behind a bush, and we got so close to him.
Oh yeah, being so close to those kind of animals was so fun. They were so nice to observe. They're such pretty cats.
Kind of crazy to think that if it wanted to jump in and kill us all, it probably could have. But it didn't.
Oh yeah, they probably could have. I mean, he was. He seemed very tame, and it's probably not worth their bother. Humans probably don't taste even that nice.
No.
And it's not worth their effort to jump in and kill us and possibly even get shot, because they're quite fearful of people as well, because the Masai kind of
Fuck them
handle
up.
them. So yeah, they would be afraid of those. We were thinking if lions actually got really intelligent, they would put out a dead zebra in the middle of the road, so the bus stops, and then they would jump us from both sides in a kind of good ambush point and just jump straight in.
Block off the roads.
It was, but yeah, they didn't do that. Thankfully, they don't organise that. They've got enough food as it is. They just go after the animals they go for, and don't touch us. They don't touch us.
They were great. Definitely, tree lion was 100% my highlight of the trip. I've never seen a more relaxed animal in my life.
They behaved just like normal kiddies. It was great, and yeah, the elephants were really nice as well. Our guide warned us, Thomas, sometimes elephants can be crazy. I guess with you have intelligent animals, you also get the burden of crazy animals as well. As in, as many you get who are sort of gracious and compassionate, you also get crazy.
Yeah.
And
elephants like people, some people are just jerks. Stop that, Mr. Simpson.
Yeah, but I think our guide was experienced enough, so if an elephant was going to charge us, he would know, and hopefully get us well away. They were very, very big animals.
We saw some insane families of elephants just walking around and just...
They kept the babies close, didn't they? Especially when we approached.
The
babies sort of stay right next to their parents, kept in, protected, and they were rinsing through that vegetation, having nice food.
They have to eat 300 kilos a day.
Serious?
Yeah,
shit.
That's what I learned in the museum yesterday.
That must take a lot. We can go into the museum earlier. We met an interesting individual there.
Who did we meet at the museum? Oh god, yeah. Fucking snake bark guy. Oh.
Yeah. But the first recording, I guess we'll put that at the start, when we were recording the Masai Mara, looking at the hippos. We were over this ravine and we saw the hippos just lounging in the sun, they're fucking huge animals, really big and really fearsome. They occasionally scuffled with each other, but thank fuck we didn't come close outside of the van. I think they kill more.
They're the most dangerous land animal, aren't they?
Yeah. I think they kill more humans than any other land animal, excluding I guess mosquitoes and what else.
I guess because people think that, oh look, a nice big cuddly hippo. What big teeth you have, Mr. Hippo. Oh no.
I assume people like boats or someone's doing river rapids.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty. They were pretty nuts. They're very huge, and I was thinking before coming here, I've binge watched all sorts of these how to deal with a lion attack, how to deal with a hippo attack. And with a hippo attack, there's a very, very limited amount of options you can do other than escape. And if you're going to fight a hippo, I guess the only way is sort of find some way to get on his back and lock with your legs and then attack the eyes. But I'm glad it never ever came to that, because they were a safe distance away. They didn't want to disturb me, I didn't want to disturb them. They just enjoyed their day, basking in the mud, the sun, the water. A lot of fun. Yeah. And there were crocs nearby as well. Those crocs were cool.
Oh, they were wicked.
I love crocodiles. Just perfect killing machines.
Evolution has just perfected them.
They've survived 2 mass extinctions and they're practically unchanged for millions upon millions. Over 250, I think it's nearly 300 million years.
Outlived the dinosaurs.
Yep, outlived the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are fucking pussies compared to crocodiles. Crocodiles are ridiculous, perfect killing machines. They fit so well in with their climate, their habitat. Very, very impressive creatures. We saw a few of them in their traditional, like when you see them in the wild, they're traditionally just basking in the sun. Very, very still. But yeah, I was so impressed with them, just generally as creatures.
There was a point where we saw some sort of bird, can't remember what, it must have been a stork, I guess, that was sort of tiptoeing very closely to a crocodile, and we don't think the bird saw. We were sort of waiting there with anticipation, like, go on bird, go on, walk towards it, go on, give the croc his lunch. And
yeah, I think the birds would probably recognise when crocodiles down. I've seen those around alligators, and they're usually, the alligators don't care. If the alligators and the crocodile, they've got food, and they don't feel threatened, they won't see much of a point in attacking. No. And also just a small bird like that. And also the crocodile was on the surface. Then when they like to attack, they like to submerge and shoot up and rawr.
Yeah.
That's always the best way.
Was it the death roll?
Yeah, where they sort of drag their poor victim under and just sort of roll to, I guess, break their neck and
break all its bones, tear it to shreds, and horrible way to go.
Yep, they are lethal animals, but I don't know. I have a weird fascination with them. I'm amazed. And the buffalo as well. We saw there. I mean, there's like different types of horns you get on these kind of creatures. Was it? Yeah, piercing ones, like really sharp horns we saw on like some gazelle antelope. They're designed to like stab each other.
Yeah.
And then there's like interlocked ones that are designed for wrestling, as in they'll lock with each other and push around. And then there's collision ones,
which are just big bumpers on their heads.
Yep, the buffalo sure as fuck had those. They were, they seem really mighty, like very thick creatures, very powerful.
Well, they're one of the big five, aren't they?
Yeah, the big five. I mean, it's saying in African safari, like I think it's elephant, lion, leopard, buffalo, and rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah, rhino is the one of the big five that we didn't see in Masai Mara because apparently they're really, really, really rare. But we get to see them at Lake Nakuru tomorrow.
Yay!
Yeah, black and white rhino. We will get footage of that as well, and. We saw ostrich as well, which is quite cool to see in the wild.
They look ridiculous.
Yeah, so our friend Ben, who appears on the podcast to talk about a lot of MMA stuff frequently, Mr. Benny Sin, he have this theory that if ostriches could fly, they would take over the world.
Yeah, because they can run at 50 miles an hour, they can kill you with a kick and just like completely disembowel you.
I mean, I don't think it's like to the level of cassowaries that they can kick and pound, but they're still powerful.
I don't want to test it.
yeah.
So if they could fly, they would just dominate.
I don't know. I think Ben's just got an oversympathy for anything long and gangly.
Well, didn't Australia have the Great Emu War, where they tried to go to war with a bunch of like an overpopulation of emus and they lost? That's the genuine thing. Like they took the Australian army to go out into like the brush and try and cull loads of emus because there were just too many of them, and I think they were just wrecking the soil or something. And they went out and it was a spectacular failure. I can't remember why they lost, but
the emu war.
I remember they had to retreat. Yeah, it's a legit thing.
Yeah, the Wikipedia article. I wish they framed it as just like a full warfare thing, like participants, emus, humans, result, emu victory.
It does. It says participants, emus.
Outcome, failure,
Sir George.
Emu population persists.
Yeah, fallow. That's it.
Yeah, they don't have the same full structure they do for most of them, but
no.
Oh, that's great. They are.
It's even got the guy in charge, Major George Pierce, who lost the emu war.
That's hilarious. Fucking emus, ostriches, cassowaries, fearsome creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Fearsome creatures.
Scary birds, and it's quite easy to not easy to see, but there's a whole thing about birds coming from dinosaurs, and when you see an ostrich with this giant claws on its feet and these big scaly legs and these beady eyes and this evil looking thing, it's not a huge jump to think that they came from like raptors and that sort of thing.
Oh, 100%. No, I mean I really liked seeing the ostriches. They were a very cool addition. Yeah, they were on their own. I don't think I saw many together.
Yeah, well the male ones are the classic ones with the black feathers and the white sort of ruff. I think the females are sort of like a lighter sort of white or grey.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw any of them.
Maybe no, but yeah. Overall, I think we saw so many, and the birds. Like, I don't think we were able to capture many pictures of the birds, but all the little birds you saw were just fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah, really colourful and just darting around,
and butterflies as well, sort of constantly. Like, and even when you saw little lizards and stuff in the small times we were able to get out.
Beautiful, like, was it red and pink? No, blue and pink lizard that was just sat on a rock, just looking glorious.
And a bright red one that was trying to track females.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of them, and we saw this baby crocodile, tiny crocodile on a rock. Well, it was this brief moment because obviously we were going down in the jeep and then up again, so we couldn't ask the guy to like stop in the middle of a ravine and possibly get stuck and entrenched in mud. So it only got a brief shot of that little croc, but still
about the size of my forearm. It was diddy.
Yeah, very little diddy guy. But it was fucking cool, so fucking cool. All the animals. And another addition, we had a Masai village nearby that we came and visited. The first night we sort of had a fire out, and we met this Masai guy called Moses, and he told us a few stories. Apparently when they're 15 years old, as a sort of like masculinity initiation ritual,
coming of age thing.
Yeah, all the boys go in a group to hunt a male lion. Yeah,
they go out into the nearby forest near the village, and they're not allowed to come back until they've killed this lion.
Yeah, and then they get a good reputation and they're accepted as men and warriors. I think it must be fairly limited because there's some forbidden, and I know like wildlife laws protect some too much, so I don't know how it works, that kind of cohesion.
Yeah, they were saying that they don't actually do the hunting in the park because all those animals are protected.
Yeah,
so they must go off somewhere nearby that's unprotected to do it, I guess.
Yeah, they said lions attack the village. I mean, it can't be the one nearby. I doubt that. They said sort of like twice a week, but I don't think I think it was that village. I assume it would be one further along.
I feel like 2 lion attacks a week in a Masai village, right next to a tourist camp full of tourists.
Yeah, a lot of security.
That would be some real bad publicity to get in a lion attack. So
our guide said that nothing attacks around there. I suppose it makes sense in terms of like trying to acquire their livestock, because they see some goats around there. That's easy food. Try and run in and grab one. But they'd be shit scared of the Masai because of like spears and stuff.
Oh yeah, they're brutal. The way Moses was talking about how they hunt the lion and they throw their spears at it and try and like weigh it down and then cut its throat. And then he was saying about how they take the skin of the lion and the headdress and the teeth as like trophies and souvenirs, and they make a headdress out of the lion's fur and they make necklaces out of the teeth. But the rest of the lion, because they're sort of sacred to the Masai people, they just sort of left the carcass there for scavengers, so like vultures and hyenas, to come and clear up.
Fair enough.
The circle of life.
It's a brutal world out there. It's a brutal world. But they had an interesting little society. They were polygamous. They took many wives. There was a sort of dowry, they said, of 10 cows. But
the whole jumping thing as well. Like when the whole jumping dance, the higher you jump, the more prestigious you are, and the less cows you have to pay in dowry, I think it was.
Yeah. It can give you if you jump really high, you can get a significant reduction in the dowry you have to pay for a wife.
Yeah. So if you got a really pussy jump, then you're going to have to pay a lot of cows.
Cough up those cows.
Yeah.
It's it was a weird sort. They showed us how they make fire with sort of cedar wood and rubbing sticks together. They're rubbing those sticks together. Effective way. Good. They showed us their dance, their singing, which is pretty cool. They have some. They have interesting sort of cultural things around there, like the patterns, the red.
The robes and the jewellery. It's
all
very distinctive.
Yeah, very distinctive and sort of iconic. I mean, when you think of sort of like tribal Africa, the Masai are probably like the most highly publicised.
Yeah.
In it, they showed us their little houses. Like, fuck, I would not be able to breathe in there.
Man. So not only were they made out of mud and literal cow shit dried in the sun, which I guess if those are your resources, you've done well to be resourceful and make a house out of that. Not my thing, but hey, it works for them. But yeah, the house, like, they were showing us around their houses, and we each split off our groups and like individually took us into their houses, and very interesting the way they just live their lives in those houses. Like,
yeah, apparently they only last 7 years. and then they sort of get up and move somewhere else and build new houses.
Yeah.
And get to another village. It's all in a circle, and they have a thing in the middle that where they keep all their livestock protected. And
Yeah, and like at night they bring all their cows into the middle of the village. So if there's a lion attack or whatever, they'll hear the cows moving, and they can all exit their houses to go and defend.
yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It was interesting getting their perspective on a lot of things. They believe in God. They said they follow Christian beliefs
Yeah.
at one point. I didn't see much kind of like Christ imagery and that, but I guess they follow it somewhat. Like introduction of missionaries brought that, and it assimilates well into their culture. Then I guess why not? They had a school nearby. It was quite big, and also one thing I've been asking everybody here, because they have a presidential election in August between incumbent Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, who's this kind of veteran politician in Kenya, and a lot of people here are very, very definite about who they're voting for. Like, you've seen that. I've asked a lot of taxi drivers, and like just like that, they'll answer.
Yeah, they're very spirited and very firm in their opinions. There's not anyone that's on the fence.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that one taxi driver recently, he sort of like had good reasons for both and understanding, but I think he came down on Kenyatta. Which things there's some people who vote, I guess, on tribal lines, but a lot of people have the memory of like 2007 when an election was fought along tribal lines between Kikuyu and Luo, and it resulted in like horrible violence. So a lot of people seem very wise up to that and said like, we don't want to stir up any of this kind of shit anymore.
No.
That's horrible.
But the Masai people are very overwhelmingly in favour of Kenyatta.
Raila Odinga.
Oh,
Raila Odinga. It was all Raila Odinga. Kikuyu, like most Kikuyus would, I guess, support Kenyatta, and a lot of people who really like where Kenya has gone in the last few years favour Kenyatta, because there have been improvements in Kenya and the new railway and the economy boosting. Most people who talk about when they support Raila Odinga cite government corruption as their main reason, because obviously, as in a lot of countries, a big problem here is corruption in the government, and they don't like it, and they think a lot has happened recently under Kenyatta, so they want to try Odinga. It was it was interesting though with the Masai. They were very definite Raila Odinga, and there was no sort of disagreement. So there isn't really like disagreement within people. As some
it's all
people
very
say.
monolithic. They're all in agreement.
I guess they sort of have their like higher ups who sort of negotiate what's better for them.
Yeah, it's quite patriarchal, isn't it?
And they sort of like the elders like pass down and say like, okay, this politically is what's better for us. So let's all vote. Let's we increase our collective bargaining power by working as a voting bloc. But they were very clear that Raila Odinga is their guy. But apparently, I was asking as well that if they marry outside of the tribe, then apparently that's a thing. There's a couple of Kukuyos and Luos around, and they're married into the Masai tribe. So I didn't see many Wazungu there married in, so they can't marry too far. But
I can't imagine that polygamy would be their thing, really.
Well, there's not many Western polygamists outside the Mormons, but they've kind of got their own thing going on.
Yeah, it was quite strange to listen to them talk about like Moses, who was a guy younger than us. He was 22, and he was like, "Yes, I've got my first wife. I'm looking to get a second one. I'm looking forward to having many children with many wives." And it's like, this is such a culture shock.
But when you go to the Masai, one thing just
learn how to say no.
Yeah, learn how to say no, and sort of be a bit suspicious of money wise, because they were constantly looking for money from us. I was able to buy some stuff, which was nice because I wanted to buy some authentic Masai stuff from them. I got a really nice necklace for my girlfriend. It was all nice there. But they constantly want to trade. A friend who was with borrowed money from the guide as well to pay for more stuff. He got rinsed.
He fleeced us down, that guy. So basically, me and Shri, our travelling companion, got grouped off with the son of the chief, and he showed us around his house, and we sat down, and he asked us questions, we asked him questions, and then towards the end, like when we were in this house, very dark, with very smoky, not like a bad vibe, but then had 4 guys stand in the doorway. And then he brought out the souvenirs and was like, these are things of our people, these are symbols, we use the money to move our tribe forward and buy food and things like that. We'd really appreciate it if you could buy some of these things off us, as our main way of making income. Put us in a really tight spot. It was
Yeah, it's all good.
quite hard to say no. I was kind of like, oh, I don't have any money on me. Oh, too bad, whatever. And then he was like, oh, no, it's fine. And we can work something out. And kind of strong-armed us into...
I think Shri gave his belt at one point.
Shri...
yeah, it was...
they're very, very...
Very
persistent,
pushy.
Very persistent at getting money out of you.
Some to the annoying extent.
Yeah.
I'd say, like, I don't like that kind of pushiness when it comes to sales. And also the kind of, like, don't give us talk about, like, living off the land and, like, self-sustaining nomadic lifestyle whilst, like, making it blatantly obvious that you are, like, pandering to tourists and getting money off. It was... Because there was one guy who was an absolute cunt.
Oh, that was really annoying.
It was just... Because, we were looking for our friend. He came out... And the guy said, and he has no excuse because I asked him in fucking Swahili. I said, like, Moses iko wapi? Like, where's Moses?
Yeah, because our friend Shri went off to do some spear throwing practice or something with Moses.
Yeah, and try the weird alcohol they have.
Yeah, the sausage tree moonshine.
Yeah, so we were trying to find him to let him know, dinner's nearly ready. So come back to the camp and ask him where he is. And he said, oh yeah, just over here. And he sort of led us up. And it's like, is he actually over here? And I kept asking.
And he kept taking us further and further down this park and deeper into the village and further away from our camp.
Then he seemed to just want to he was sort of giving us a tour, and I was just like, okay, Moses isn't here, Shri isn't here, so let's go back.
Yeah, let's sack this off. Yeah, he tried to invite us into his house.
Yeah, and then he followed us back, saying something. Then he sort of, when we came, he was like, oh, there's Moses at the camp. And he started and he kept asking for money, stuff, and like showing us everything he has. Like, oh yeah, genuine Masai club. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna give you money. And
tried to fleece us for literally lying to us and
like fuck you. And it was like, he said something to Moses in Ma, which is the Masai language, when we sort of came into the camp, and he sort of came in after us. And I think he was about to sort of like say like, oh no, we gave you a tour, you have to pay him. But like we just ignored, and thankfully they didn't persist after that, because I would have been full on fuck off.
Yeah.
Full on fuck off.
Yeah,
just no. If
lie
you lie to us like that,
lied to us about knowing where our friend was. Took us 20 minutes out of our way, just literally down a dirt path.
Yeah.
Telling us the whole time he knew where our friend was. Clearly didn't. And it was getting dark, and obviously we didn't want to be stuck in their camp after dark.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we were just like, fuck this, let's just go back. And it was a bit unnerving at points where he was just getting like really pushy, asking for money, and we just sort of
that bit's annoying. I mean, I would be very careful of going near those kind of Masai when if you decide to go to the Masai Mara. If they pushed or made a bigger deal out of it, they didn't, because obviously like we'd have our guide who'd be on our side.
Thomas, my boy.
You'd be on our side, you'd tell them to fuck off. And also, like, that's bad for the camp if you've got guys being arseholes trying to scam. And
just leading off tourists astray, down God knows where.
And also, if that dude wanted to throw down, I was much bigger than him. Like, I am so much bigger than most of those guys.
The Masai were quite small, really.
Tiny people, but there's some warriors. I don't think he had his spear on him, so...
If it comes down.
Yeah, if some sort of came to that, we'd have that. But thankfully relations were okay. Wasn't too bad at all. It was a nice place to visit. It was interesting, sort of seeing that culture, seeing people who live in a completely different way, have a completely different worldview.
Just different way of life, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's still very capitalistic, as much as they represented as this all-sharing, communal thing. It was it was still. I don't know. I was just wondering how accurate it was as a representation of the sort of other Masai.
Yeah, at the very end of the tour, they took us. They were like, "Oh, this is where all the women work," and it was just this circle of people with these basically craft stools, and all of them just staring at us, sort of starting to offer us things. And it's like, oh, okay, so this is basically your mall, and you've come to fleece us with more money. And it's like, okay, well, we've just bought these 2 souvenirs off you with the money we don't have, so we still don't have any money to pay for these. So
yeah, I was grateful I didn't bring so much. I mean, it was I like supporting the locals a lot of time in a lot of places, and some of the souvenir shops along the road. I can imagine they're going to get too many visitors, so
yeah.
I'm sort of having to contribute there. But when it's sort of fleecing, it's it gets annoying.
Well, their main income is going to be tourism, isn't it?
Yeah. So
well, the chief guy that we spoke to said that he used to be a tour guide for the park, and he used to drive around one of the vans.
No, yeah,
so
fair play.
it's clearly quite, well, not westernised, but like modernised at least.
Yeah,
And to go from that to living in a hut made of literal shit must be quite frustrating, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I mean, some people go back to lifestyle. I guess the sense of community with it, they enjoy it, a sense of stability.
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess if you're proficient in all the skills to live there, it might not be.
Yeah,
too bad.
for us pansy Westerners, coming from our electricity and our heating and our running water, it just seems like impossible for us to be able to live in those conditions. Oh yeah, Shri, our travel companion, at the start of the tour they offered us saying, oh yeah, you can stay in one of our huts overnight. And obviously that didn't seem very appealing to us. To Shri, he was all for it. He was like, oh, I can't wait to stay in one of these huts. Bigging that up the entire time. When it came to the end of the tour, he'd like asked them and tried to take them up on it. He was, oh yeah, would it be alright if I stayed in one of your huts? And then instantly they were like, oh no, we have to prepare.
Yeah, because they said free as well, but I bet like you wake up in the morning and then there's someone
just standing over you asking for money, just like gimme.
Yeah, I mean I think with one of those, if someone offers you something for free, it's not going to be for free.
No,
100%, and they're going to ask for it later.
Yeah.
So yeah, be careful there. And also I struggled to breathe in there because I have a fire in the middle, not so much ventilation.
But yeah, like a tiny like square for a window that was ventilation. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And they say they keep the fire lit pretty much all the time. I mean, sometimes they let it burn to embers, but they'll always keep it going just to keep the house warm.
Yeah, my lungs would not take that.
Yeah, we were in there for about 15 minutes, and even that it was a lot.
Yeah, fun experience overall though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth doing, and I feel culturally enriched from being there.
Yeah, it was fun to join in the dance and sort of see what they're up to and sort of get pick up some souvenirs.
And I got to wear one of their lion crest hats, which was pretty cool.
They offered me lion tooth and they offered me wearing the lion hat. They were very nice and respectful when I described, because if I say veganism to them, they probably won't understand. But when I sort of said like, oh, I'm a religion, I can't sort of touch dead animals, apart from them, they were very understanding, quite quick.
They weren't pushy about that at all.
Yeah, no, they're very respectful. So I think religion here has been a good way to communicate like what veganism is. So hey, that works. They were very nice about that.
I mean, they were still more accommodating than BA.
They really were. BA is not easy to arrange food in that for special provisions. And you don't eat meat or dairy. That means you eat fish, right? No, that thing annoys me. It's a joke that's gone too far. People joking about like, oh, you're vegetarian, but you eat fish. Yeah, pescatarians who don't eat land animals. I don't get the stance either. I don't get vegetarianism, to be honest, because I think like, if you were gonna boycott animal exploitation, might as well go for all out.
That sounded Australian. Exploitation, mate.
Exploitation. I don't know. It's getting late. We've had. It's getting late. We've struggled with sleep on this trip, but fucking fantastic. But in conclusion, Masai Mara is incredible. It's
highly recommended.
Yeah, it's sort of a life-changing like perspective shift, and
you see all these things on like these wide sweeping landscape shots and all these animals on David Attenborough, and you're like, oh, that's a nice little slice of life. I'll just watch it safely from my screen. But when you're actually there in the van and it's all actually in front of you and you're breathing the air, it's just completely different.
Yeah, just getting in the thick of it. It's a wonderful experience. Fucking wonderful. Okay, so that's probably... I'm wondering, have we missed anything else out?
I'm trying to think.
I'll look at some of the notes I got. I sort of noted down. Then that seems all fine to me. Yeah, I think we more or less covered everything that we wanted to. Yeah, that's our take on the Masai Mara. 100% go, anybody. And also just check out Nairobi. Nairobi is a fucking fantastic city.
And if you do go to the Masai Mara, go with, was it Big Time Tours?
Big Time Safaris.
Big Time Safari, and ask for Thomas.
Yes.
He is excellent.
Like, best fucking possible safari experience. One of the funniest things as well was when you sort of like got police shouting outside there, there was an argument going on, and Sri turns around and he's like, oh shit, yeah, they're gonna make us do the balloon tours. And it was, we were right by the balloons, and it was like, that's his theory of what's going on.
We stopped. We must be going in a hot air balloon. That's
It's
the
just-
only
The
explanation.
police are gonna like, oh no, they're gonna force buy a gun to go on these balloon tours and pay $450 we don't have.
Get in.
It's like, don't hurt me. Yeah, really,
Oh,
it's
all
very
right.
enjoyable.
I'll
Very
go.
picturesque views.
See all of Masai Mara. Okay, I'll go in. Okay, please. Let me go.
Just I love that was just instant, like diagnosis of the situation.
Yeah. He's the eternal optimist, Tree.
They're gonna force us to get this. Like, no, it was
It was
It
just
was
being
fine.
fined. It
But
was
yeah,
just being-
but everything about it was wonderful. Even the drive, just seeing rural Kenya.
Yeah, some of the
going
pit
out.
stops we made. That one right on the the cliff base, the,
Oh yeah, the very Ridge Valley.
what was it? The
African Ridge.
Hyrax Hill, Hyrax Cliff, or something.
Yeah,
Hyrax
something
viewpoint.
like that.
Just looking over these massive plains at the top of this cliff, it was insane.
And there were some high rock rats as well,
Yeah,
which were cool. They were really cute little dudes. And yeah, it was just always nice to get out and interact. Sort of like I've been still testing out my Swahili every kind of chance I get. It's been pretty fun.
it's been pretty good.
Oh yeah, I had such a boner the other day when we went into that shop and I realised I went in, out, not a word of English. And it was like, yes,
You did
fucking
it.
brilliant.
You made it.
fucking brilliant. But okay, yeah, I suppose we could wrap that up. Summary: Masai Mara, very good, wonderful, brilliant
Real good.
experience, 100%.
Literal real life Lion King, but better.
Yep, brilliant stuff. Asante sana kwa kusikiliza, everybody, and yeah, peace out.